Today we're going to take a look at the Lonli iPhone 12 case, a really great looking case for the $28 price point. Now there's a lot that I really like about this case, but I have some pretty big questions about the build material. More specifically, is this what Lonli says it actually is? But more on that later. So let's just give you my quick first impressions of this case overall. So a couple of things that I really like. I really do like the appearance of this case right out of the box. This is probably close to what you would expect for a $28 phone case. It looks clean. I really do like that there's no Apple logo on the back, or any logo for that matter. It's just a straight up blank canvas. I like that they've included a magnetic back, so it's compatible with MagSafe devices, it's compatible with other magnetic charging devices. And then I also like the buttons that they have on the side. These look nice. They're definitely not just imprints in the case, they're actually separate buttons that sit on the iPhone buttons, so in theory it makes it a lot easier to press down on the buttons and actually click the things that you want to click. One thing that I personally am not a fan of, although this is just a personal preference thing, is the way that they did the grill. Now, a lot of other case manufacturers will just cut down this lip entirely to make sure that all of your iPhone cables fit. So if you want to charge wired, your wired cable will fit without the lip of the charging cable getting stuck on this phone. Lonli opted for a grill style, which I think is fine as long as the cable doesn't get stuck on the lip of the case. Now, one thing I've noticed about this phone case that's different than some of my other cases is that the lip of the case comes up a lot more than some of my other cases that I've tested. I would say there's like a good full 1.5 millimeters of lip on this, whereas some of the other premium cases that I've tested come up maybe to like 1 millimeter, and so there is that extra bulk. This also feels a lot bulkier than some of the other premium cases that I use, which can be a good and a bad thing. I don't think that like extra size is necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it contributes to things like grip, and sometimes it contributes to things like, you know, being able to better protect your phone. However, I will say that some of the other premium brands have managed to create cases that are a bit slimmer while still protecting your phone and feeling really nice. Now, in terms of the actual execution of these buttons, I feel like these are a bit stiffer and stickier than some of the other cases that I've tested, although in my experience, that can change over time. The more that you use them, the more that they get worn in and are better able to respond to the phone. So we're gonna have to wait for the full review to see how these actually react. So here's the part where I really start to have questions about this case, and we're really just gonna have to wait to see how the full review is. Lonli claims that this is top grain genuine nappa leather that's on this case, and this feels a lot different than the other top grain genuine leather products that I have. For example, the Bullstrap iPhone 12 case, my Bellroy key cover, and my Miss Goods Co wallet all feel way different than this case does. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could just be that they treated the leather differently, but this feels a lot like some of the more like plasticky cases that I've held before. So I'm not quite sure what's going on under the hood, if this actually is top grain leather. I've reached out to Lonli's customer service line to see if this is top grain leather, and I haven't gotten a response back, and I'll update this video as soon as I do. But if we're going by the word of the manufacturer, this is supposed to be genuine top grain nappa leather. I just have my suspicions as to whether or not that's true. One thing that I have noticed is that when you scratch this case, it reacts a little bit differently than you would expect some other full grain leather cases to react. So for example, when I scratch my Bullstrap iPhone 12 case, like I did a couple times here, you'll see that there's some discoloration that happens to the case, and that will eventually be filled in by the natural patina and some of the oils from your hand that make this colored back to the way this case is. You don't get any of that with this Lonli iPhone 12 case. If you look very closely, you can see like a little indentation in the case itself. There's no discoloration, and there's nothing that you would expect from something that's an actual genuine leather product. Now, it could be the case that this phone case just hasn't had the time to patina yet, so time is gonna tell, but I'm a little bit skeptical as to the claim as to whether or not this is actually top grain genuine leather. I do know that some of Lonli's other products are made of pleather, which is just a type of nice hybrid of cork and other top level plastics to give a leather look and appearance. But the marketing for this case says that this is top grain nappa leather. There's no mention of vegan leather or pleather or any other leather alternative in the descriptions. They just say top grain nappa leather, which to me infers that it's animal leather. So all that said, we're just gonna see if this is actual top grain leather when we do the long-term review and when I've had a month or so to carry this case around. So those are my first impressions of the Lonli iPhone 12 case. If you like this video at all, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. It definitely helps out the channel a lot. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.